Okay, I'm back. Pardon my interruption. Anyway, the man said he seen another man's head come off his body from being hit by a vehicle. And I'm sure that that is something that stuck in his mind. He may have seen a lot of things in life, good and bad, but that was one of the things that will stick in his mind forever. Um, and who knows how it could affect him in his everyday life. He may go to sleep and not trying to think about that. He may go to sleep, excuse me, he may go to sleep and see that man's head come off his body over and over and over and over again. That's PTSD, that's trauma. And who's to say that it doesn't have a mental effect on him in some kind of way? Obviously, it is a mental effect if he's seeing that image over and over and over and over again. Because I'm a firm believer that as human beings, we won't, our minds won't meant to process that kind of violence and trauma and, you know, a violent situation, traumatic situation. Our minds wasn't meant to process that kind of stuff. To actually see a man's head come off his body. That's not something you see every day. The same with, as I stated, someone being killed. Um, it's plenty of instances, and I think I spoke of in one of my last videos. I was talking about, a rapper. I don't know the guy name. Um, Never heard any of his music, and I don't think he was very well known as far as like, of course, globally or anything like that. But he was more of a local rapper, and he was from Miami. And he was in the car. He was at the light or whatever, and he had his kid in the car, baby. Don't know how old the baby was, but it was a baby. He had the baby's mother in the car with him also, and they opened fire on the car, shooting the car up or what have you. And luckily, the young lady didn't die. The baby didn't die, didn't get hit. The young lady didn't get hit, but this guy who was the main target was killed. Um, you know, and I believe they had it on, might have been on video, and you could just hear, whoever killed them, killed them with uh, some high powered weapons. And being that the lady didn't die, the baby didn't die. Now this lady was a witness to what happened. She was there. She could have died. She could have been shot and killed. Then she wouldn't have been a witness. But she witnessed what happened. Can you imagine the level of trauma she will have for the rest of her life? Being in that situation, wondering, having what they call survivor's guilt, wondering why she didn't die, why her baby didn't die, and this man got killed, you know, um, reliving being in that very spot, that very moment that this happened, and being shot, having the car being shot up, and she didn't catch not one bullet, but this man died. The man might have been, I don't know if she was in the back seat or what, but I believe she was in the back seat. I want to say that's what happened, but um, either way, she was there. She was right there. And so, can you imagine what she sees when she closes her eyes? That's going to be a mental health issue for her. You know what I'm saying? Um, she's going to need to talk to someone about that. She's going to need to express what she's feeling about that. You know, we have so much mental health going on in our community that it's crazy. Um, there's so many people walking around who need help, and part of the reason why they won't seek help is because, like I said before, it's frowned upon in our community. Oh, you crazy? What's wrong with you? You going to talk to somebody? We don't talk to no shrinks. What you? I mean, what you talking to somebody for? Go to God, pray. You know, and what they gonna do for you? You gonna pay all this money to talk to somebody? They don't care about you. You know, but what are you to do? Are you to continue to just brush it off when you know this problem is persistent in your mind? Do you just um, go and pray and hope that things get better when you see they're already getting worse? Like, as a black community, we have to do more about mental health. You know, like I said, it's something we see every single day. You know, I brought up the situation with young Dolph. You know, there were people that was in that place that he was getting cookies from, and when he was killed, bullets ain't got no name, so bullets is just flying, and the man gets killed, and I don't know exactly what transpired after that. But what if people try to come to his rescue, or come after all the bullets and stop flying, and let me see what happened, and come around the corner and see that man laying on the ground dead, and you ain't never seen a dead body in your life, you know, and you just been involved in this shootout by way of being a passive, um, just a passive person that happened to be in there working, or I don't think it was anybody else in there as far as like customers. I'm not sure, but just being there, period, and being involved by way of that. That's a mental health issue. That's going to become a mental health issue because now you can't shake your mind to think about this man laying on the ground dead, and why he's laying on the ground dead. Because he was shot, you know. And think about the shootings. Think about the murders, the killings that happen every single day in our community. Every single day. Kids are witnesses to this. Regular average Joes are witnesses to this. Um, Everyone that's in the community are witnesses to what's going on. You could be just minding your business, man, get shot right there, and you seen it all. You seen it happen. That's a mental health issue. It will become a mental health issue. You know, um, people who are dealing with those things, they find different ways to try to cope. You know, now if you ain't a drinker, you might drink a little bit. You're not a smoker, you might start smoking a little bit because you're trying to escape these images and these thoughts in your head that you can't unsee because you've already seen it. That's a mental health issue. You know, um, there's people walking around that's bipolar. Um, don't even know that they bipolar. One minute they cool, you talk to them, everything fine, this and that. Next minute, snap on you. Like, damn, I thought we was cool. You know, that's a mental health issue. And I just think that we need to um, dispel the stigma, man. Um, like I said before, see the God made it. He made it almost cool to go see a therapist, to go talk to somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Um, I don't care for the things in our black community that we feel are almost beneath us, or we feel some things uncool, or we kind of make it like these other things are cool to be this way. You know, I don't feel, I don't respect none of that. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, you got an issue, you know, if you was hurting and it hurts you so bad you can't take it, you would go to the hospital. You would go see a doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you cut yourself, you would go see a doctor because you know that cut can get infected, right? So you would go take care of that. So you wouldn't have to worry about being infected, or you would try to counteract that before it gets infected. So the same thing with mental health, like, um, and you know it's all a big cycle too because uh, with mental health we talking about seeing doctors, we talking about seeing people who are qualified to sit down and listen to your pain, listen to your trauma, you know, and so in that sense it's a business, you know, and maybe on the overall scope of things, some of these people see it as just that, not a thing of I'm helping other people get through their trauma, get through their pain. You know, um, some people are focused more on the money aspect of it, how much they can make, you know, how much they can charge, um, and so that also creates another issue for all of those people who have real mental health issues who don't want to go talk to someone, maybe for that very reason, you know. Um, but we've got to do something about the mental health issues that we have. There are so many people walking around in pain, um, that are going through things internally that smile every day, smile every single day until they can't take it anymore. And then when they can't take it, they do something that's beyond comprehension. They do something that make you think like, damn, I ain't never think he would do that. You know, Regina King's son just recently took his life. Sad, sad situation. I got a 28-year-old son. Her son was 26, her only child, and just celebrated his birthday. And to kill himself, you know, a lot of people can put their own label, their own um, opinions on it. You know, he shouldn't have killed himself, and you know, suicide, people go to hell, and all this other stuff. You can put whatever you want to put on it, but nobody knows that man's pain. Nobody know what that man was going through. Not even his own mother, obviously, because he didn't, for whatever reason, he didn't talk about that. He didn't say anything about that. He decided that the best thing for him was to take his own life. And you know, some of this mental health stuff um, is associated with trauma, but also social media doesn't do anything better to help with a lot of people's mental health and anxiety and these other disorders that they have going on. You know, social media has become the standard by which we judge people by. Like we're no longer judging people by their character. We're judging people by their page and the amount of views that they have. And that's sad, you know. I always equate it to being in school and who's the popular one and the unpopular ones. And the unpopular ones are the ones with a little bit of views. You know, the popular ones are the ones that's their page popping, and he got 250,000 views, and he got 1.1 million views, and you know, he's a a YouTube sensation, and all of that's good in its own perspective, but um, it's not when we're just judging people pretty much based off that, based off what your page is like, and um, how many followers you got, and all this extra stuff that means absolutely nothing. You know, for me, doing what I'm doing right now, I can go to my page and I probably got 6 views on one video, right? So I probably got about maybe 4 or 5 videos up. I don't even know how many videos. I just need to get more consistent with what I'm doing. So I'm building myself up to that. But you have people that got 4 or 5 out. Well, I got 4 or 5 videos on my page, and I got people that maybe 5, 6 people on one video that has viewed my video. So I may have a video that's been viewed 6 times, and I could tell you, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I can care less because I know the value of myself is it outweighs the amount of views, the amount of how many people share my video, the amount of how many people look at it, the amount of how many people who care about what I'm doing on my end. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know, the only reason I would want anyone to view is because I know that it could probably resonate with someone who watches it. Someone who watches it may say, "Hey, I feel what Brother Man saying. I could dig that. You know what I mean? Can agree with some points that I'm saying. Fine. You know, but if no one watches, if it has 0 views, it's whatever. It's not gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. I'm still gonna make another video on another topic with something to say because it's what I got to say, right? So I'm not gonna let the world, I'm not gonna let Instagram, I'm not gonna let YouTube, I'm not gonna let Facebook, I'm not gonna let none of these company corporations, whatever, these social media platforms, whatever you want to call them, I'm not gonna let none of them and the people that's on them dictate me, dictate who I am, dictate my character, what I bring to the table. Cause I'm Stan B. I'm Stan B. There will never be another. Might be another brother with the same name, you know, all of that. But there will never be another Stan B that you're looking at right now, right? So I don't place my worth, my value into social media. And so social media plays a big part in people's mental health dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? People start to feel like their self worth is less than because they're not valued by the people on these social media platforms. I think Denzel on a video, he said something about put tell the people put their phones down um, for a day or so. I can't remember exactly if he said a day or a couple of minutes, but he said put your phones down. And somebody who was recording or on the other side of the camera must have had a kind of look in their face like what, you know, and he was like, see that, you know, see that, you know, that's what I'm talking about, you know. And so he was talking about how, you know, people, it's hard being liked by one person, two people, but now it's magnified to a whole nother level where we want to be liked by 60,000, 70,000 people, a million people. We want to be liked by those people because now we have put so much value in social media. And really, to be honest, the people who offer off basing off the likes of these people on social media, they really don't like you. They can really care less about you, you know? And yeah, okay, something happened to you, you died. They post, you know, might be a rest in peace, that was sad, whatever, whatever, whatever. But life goes on. They done moved on to the next post, the next person, or what have you. So social media plays a big part in people's mental health dysfunction, man. Um, you know, a young lady a couple of days ago in New York, what was she? Miss America. Was it 2018, 2019? Not sure. But she jumped from her apartment building. I don't know how many stories it was, but it was up there. It was enough for her to jump off the building and kill herself. And she left on her page on, it might have been Instagram, I believe, maybe I can get some peace. So she felt, for whatever reason, that she didn't have the peace in her life. She was going through some things internally. You know, she was having some things going on in her head, obviously, where she decided that the best method for her to deal with this, to not deal with it rather, was to jump from off her apartment building onto the ground and kill herself. And that's sad when we have people doing that because they feel so much despair that they can't go talk to somebody. That this is the only way to deal, or again, not to deal with whatever situation they got going on. Sad. And so I implore everyone that's listening right now, um, reach out to your peoples, man. Talk to your peoples. Find out what's going on with people. You know, it ain't all about social media. You know, I always say social media is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, so many things going on with social media, and if you basing your life off of what's going on social media, that might be a whole another mental health issue in itself. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like you taking the value away from yourself and placing it in these platforms that make so much money, billions of dollars. They can care less about you. They could care less whether you join, whether you on, whether you're not. They can care less. Regina King's son, one of the things that he said, I believe, on social media was something like, I don't think Instagram is good for me, or I don't think being on here is good for me. You know, he felt some kind of way about that. Like he kind of knew that may have been one of his triggers, social media. You know, so we need to check on our peoples, man. Call your people up. Go holler at your people. Sit down, talk to them. find out what's going on. Because sometimes what I realize with people is sometimes all they want to do is talk to somebody, and it don't have to be the therapist. And you have to learn to not just um, be a person that want to give advice or talk or tell somebody. Don't tell everybody what they should feel and how they should feel. I had to learn those things. I'm telling you from experience. I have to learn those things myself. You quick to say, well, you should feel like this. Nah, you shouldn't feel like that about your moms. Nah, you shouldn't feel like this about such and such such such. You have every right to feel how you feel about whatever and about whoever and about whatever situation. Now, from that, we need to understand why you feel like that. And then when we understand why you feel like that, let's figure out what you could do. Is there a solution to something that you can do so you won't feel so much like that? You know? So I feel like people just wanna sometimes they just wanna talk, express and vent, but they need someone to listen. To really listen. Not just sit back and be glad when you shut the hell up telling me about. People want to hear what you got to say. You know, real people that want to listen to what you got to say will listen. And so we have to make ourselves available to those that's going through those type of situations. Truth be told, all of us got some type of mental health um, dysfunction issue, whatever. You know, all of us. It's something that we dealing with that maybe we haven't faced, we haven't dealt with. Um, it's something that we're going through that causes us to be like this or to act like that or to talk like this or give this type of energy off or that type of energy off you know um, and so it's just a matter of dealing with it and you'll be surprised if you just sit down with somebody and just find out what's going on. Hey, talk to me, bro. you know what you feeling. Let me know how you feel. What I'm saying? And brothers, it's not being a punk or being a sucker, going to your man's and you see he got something going on and sit down and talk to that man like a man and try to understand where he coming from. You might not have a solution, you might not have much feedback, but sometimes people just want to let it out. They want to get it off their chest, and sometimes that means more than anything. That means more than any solution you might be able to come up with, you know? So, but yeah, I'm nearing the end of my time, man. I feel like a lot of times when I do this, almost sometimes feel like I'm rambling, and I don't like feeling like that. But the subject today has definitely been about mental health, and just exploring little things about mental health, and just having a one man discussion on mental health. So as I said, I implore all of you out there to just you know reach out to each other, man. Um, it's some young person going through something right now that is manifesting itself through their actions, through their behaviors, through how they talk, um, through how they carry themselves. That could be self-destructive. Um, so it's plenty of people just going through some things that's dealing with some mental health issues that also stem from trauma, undealt with trauma. So So let's reach out to each other, man, and let's embrace each other more. Let's talk to each other more. Let's find out more about what's going on with each other, you know. And I understand everybody ain't gonna be as open. Everybody ain't gonna be as transparent to tell you what's going on and how they feel. But it's it's always worth a try to figure out. And if you really got love for that next person, that's what you'll do, you know. Um, so and that's called being human. Being human. You see what I'm saying? And if you didn't know, the root word in humanity is human. You know, so you got to be a human first before you're a man, you're a woman, you're a child. Got to be a human. So yeah. So I'm gonna end it off right here, man. And for those who may be going through a mental health crisis or situation, um, please seek some help. Sit down, talk to somebody. Don't feel like you can't sit down and talk to somebody. Talk to talk to a therapist, talk to your pastor, talk to your teacher, talk to your homeboy, your homegirl. Just talk to somebody because we're losing too many people to things that I feel like could probably be prevented if we reached out and if those that are having this crisis could reach out. Sometimes those things aren't that those avenues aren't available for those that's or they're so stuck in their mental health crisis that they don't know how to reach out. So we just need to look out for each other, man. And as I always tell you at the end of each podcast, treat each other the way you would like to be treated. Treat each other the way that you would like to be treated. All right? And hopefully, this world will be a better place for all of us. All right, man. So this has been Stan B. Another episode of Something to Say. I love y'all. Please take care of yourself. Please be safe out there. And man, show more love. Release all that hate. All right? All right, man. I love y'all out there. Peace.